Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So this week's event, A Mother's Strength, has started. I didn't do a video for the preview yesterday, and so what I'm going to do today is we'll talk about the cards through a bunch of gameplay. So instead of just going through the cards like I normally do, let's just jump right into a couple of fights. I'm going to open a couple of packs, and I'm also going to go through a guild versus guild fight to demonstrate how I use the Domi deck in a guild versus guild situation, and talk about how this event deck could be used in this situation as well. So first, let's go into the event here. So I've got two keys here. I haven't actually used, I haven't actually bought the keys using honor points yet, so I'm just using the keys I have. I got two right now, and you know, this is just the first map, so it doesn't really matter what you bring in as an ally, because for me, I already have a team that I like to use. So I'm going to be using this for now, but I am going to talk about some of the mechanics that I think you should use afterwards, because I'm just going to buy more keys as well. So first, I'm going to show you how I go through the deck, the map with this particular team, because I'm expecting that there's going to be future decks that will come out that's going to have the same mechanic here, and it really is easy to use and pretty fun to use as well. So let's just talk about this. So typically with Crusader maps, it's always in waves of 3. And so the challenge is always making sure that you get through the first 2 waves with enough firepower at the end to take out the boss. And so given that this is just on wave 1, it's actually really easy. So what you want to do is just save up enough gems on wave 2 so that you can match them still, and you'll have a really easy time to cruise through it. And so for this type of deck, you're really depending on a strong first hit, and then on the second hit, if you needed to use the fact that you have 3 gem spawners to deal more damage, but in this case you don't really need to, because the enemy's really weak anyway. But make sure that you use Lysias if you're using this deck to build up intensity for wave 3, and then just go ahead and do some matches here. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, because any gem match will actually defeat the enemies at this point anyway. And then we can go ahead and unleash everything on turn 3. Now the guild boss for this particular event, we'll talk about that. It doesn't cast Gem Silence or Fear, and so I can actually run my whole deck here with Aladdin in as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And so now that I got the boss, just go ahead and use up all of the battle skills here. And at summoning intensity, you can almost fill up the board with power gems. And so you can deal really good damage here. You can see over 50 million per card. Okay, so it's a little overkill, but it just makes sure that you can actually defeat the bosses easily. So that's just the basics of this, Crusader. So for the first map, really I think you can bring in any deck. And in fact, what I want to do is I want to show a couple of other decks I've built that could be successful. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and go to the event store and buy a couple of keys. So what I always do is I always use the honor points here to buy more keys. You can buy up to 15 keys every store reset. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then once you do that, it's really just key management. So since I don't have VIP, I get less keys by default. And so then you want to make sure that you really count like when your keys are going to be available, so that you can take it and maximize your key value. All right, so what I want to do is actually use a water deck. So I'm going to bring in Priestess Queen as a ally here, because I've built a deck using the water team. Let's just make sure I have that. So here it is. So I have this water team right here. This was my team that I used to use a lot, but here instead of Bodana, I used to have Dark Alice in its place. But for now, I put here the Bodana here so I can take advantage of the relic that spawns us power gem 2s. And so we'll talk about the event deck later, and then again, like I said, we'll talk about how to build the deck around it. But right now I'm going to use this water deck and kind of show you how to use this type of deck as well. So this is a typical gem rainer, gem destroyer type deck, where Quack is a gem destroyer, and Icarus is the one that will actually create the gem drop rate. The thing to note about Quack is that you'll notice it actually has a, I guess it popped up earlier, but it has a passive that actually gives 15% attack bonus to all water honored cards. And so that's going to be key here. All right, so here it's best to create multiple water power gems. Okay. And then at this point, just go ahead and use Bodana's skill to create more gems. And I think more power gems are going to appear as well. So at 30 intensity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't have... Wait, I'm not sure if I don't have enough gems. Oh, I guess I needed more gems on the board. That's okay. So let's just go ahead and take out the enemies here. Let's see if this is enough. It should be sufficient. Okay, good. And then on turn 3, this is where I'm just going to go ahead and use all the skills of Priestess Queen and use Clock to actually destroy all of them. And you can see this is where the power gems actually get dropped, but because Clock deals more damage than the boss has health for currently, you don't actually need to do anything there. So like I said, first map is really simple. I'm just kind of showing some of the mechanics here, and I'll take this opportunity now to kind of talk about how you could use the current event deck to play through the map. And to do that, I'm just going to go and use my my fire deck because it does exactly the same thing. To do that, what I'll do is see if I can bring any allies that help me. So I'll use Domi. So this is where in all the commander events, typically I simply use this deck. Okay, so the nice thing about this type of deck, which this event deck does, is that it spawns every single turn. And given that this is a wave type gameplay, it really works in your favor because you're going to get turns every single wave to deal some damage. And so in this scenario, I prefer to actually bring in Domi as an ally because he will help me spawn more gems every turn, as opposed to, let's say, Flamma or Bastarius, who actually help me spin up, create more power gems. It's not the power gems I need usually, it's actually more gems on the board to help me get that additional damage. Okay, and so in this situation, I was able to get everything, completed in wave 1. Sometimes you might need to have 2 turns, and then on turn 2, this is just where go ahead and spawn as many fire gems, or in this case, in the event deck, it'll be water gems. Just spin, just spawn them all, and then if you needed to, you can also use the 2 ultra rare cards, ultra rare, to boost your attack damage, and then just go ahead and match all of your gems here to deal as much damage as possible. And then on the boss event, by about Inferno or so, this is where Gladia doesn't really help anymore because her attack will not actually damage the boss enough. And so you could then swap her out for another Domi or something else if you like, but for now you can just go ahead and use her and take him out. And so that's basically the Crusader map gameplay in a nutshell. And now we'll talk about the deck itself. So in order to do that, before I do that, I think the best way is to just buy the packs. I think I like the cards here, and so I'm gonna try my luck here. I don't, fortunately, I don't have VIP, so let's see here. I'm gonna go at least to tier 2 just to get the free card. But before that, let's go and buy the event card here. It does have a reduction, so let's go up to tier 3 and see what we get. See if we can get lucky and get the event card. So let's see what we get on pack 1. Okay, looks like a water card. Okay, and that's not it. So let's go to 2. All right, get more keys, and I got the beast. Unfortunately, no event card yet. So now let's go to tier 3, where I'm gonna get my 500 gems back. So really, I'm investing about 1,400 gems or so. Okay, so let's get these out of the way, and let's hope for event card. Nope. Okay, so that really sucks. Went up to tier 3 and got nothing, and so I'm gonna give up here. And then I'm gonna go and do 2 packs, go up to tier 2 here just to get a guaranteed card, so that I can have 2 of these cards. I think having 2 of these support cards might not be a bad idea. Okay, and it'd be really cool if I get the ultra rare here. No, I get the Steel Sea Witch, so that's too bad. And then let's go and open up the second one. And there's the guaranteed card. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue, and I think I'm gonna have to clear out some cards here. So let's just let's go ahead and do that. So clear by age, and very unfortunate that I did not get lucky here at all with the pack opening. I'm just gonna go ahead and clear all of these cards because I have no use for them at all, and I already have Beast at 6 stars, and I don't want to evolve him, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clear them out. Okay. And now let's go and do a quick guild versus guild fight. So let's make sure we have enough spaces there. And so now actually let's take a look at the cards before we go into the guild versus guild, because that's what I promised. So this deck is going to be exactly like a Domi deck, right? So we just got a Skuka here, and this card at 6 stars actually will do the same thing as Domi, except it doesn't actually boost water heroes, water warriors. It boosts water honor heroes, and it'll create 2 power gems, 2 water gems now and for the next 2 turns, and 1 for every 20 honor intensity rounded down. So exactly like Domi. Okay, so this is the type of card that you can have multiples of, and the fact that this is a commander card is very different. I mean, it's the same mechanic, but in a commander event, so that's going to be beneficial. And then we have, let's go into the deck here to show it at 6 stars. So we have Wende, which is the event card. Now, the reason why I wanted to get her is because not only is she like Gladia in that she will generate intensity and also attack twice. You see that she has 2 attacks. Her attack is stronger than Gladia. So you can see that at 6 stars, she attacks for 4,000%, plus another 2,000 for every 5 stacks of intensity. Gladia does 3,000 attacks plus 1,500% for every 5 stacks. So you can see that she already does more damage here. And also she has a passive New Life. So once per battle, instead of dying, revive with 1% health for every 5 intensity and then gain 50% attack for 2 turns. This is huge. So without having to put in another card like the Crystal Phoenix that may not actually work into a build, you now have a nuking card in a full build that can provide revive. And this revive will give you, 1% for every 5 honor intensity. So there's a chance that you can get close to 100% health and basically double your attack. And so this is going to be very useful in like guild versus guild type fights, or actually just in guild boss fights in general, right? So if you don't have a lot of health, but you have a event card here, you can extend your fight by reviving and getting additional attack boost to get that extra edge to take down the guild bosses. So I think it's a really card to be able to get, and that's why I try to get her. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get her in the collections. So now that we've talked about the cards here, let's go back and look at the ultra rare cards. So this is Aurora Materna. And so this is going to be like Bestarius. So at 6 stars, this is a 5-star stats. At 6 stars, it's going to give 40% plus another 4% intensity per intensity, and it's an attack boost. But its passive is that it's going to generate water power gems as long as you have a power gem on the board. Okay, so at 6 stars, this will generate power gem 3s, and then Pacifica, which is the ultra rare, will go ahead and spawn power gem 4s. So these are very good, very strong cards to have. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about is I don't know if the relics that's going to come out for this event is going to have power gems. So that's really sort of, the big MVP for this type of deck is that it's boosted and also helped by the fact that your relics will actually create power gems. So if it doesn't have that, I don't know how effective it's going to be. So I'm going to wait and see. Now let's go into a guild versus guild fight here. And I think for my deck, I can actually handle about this level here. And so you can see here's my setup for my guild versus guild. The relics I'm running, I am using a raised staff because it does give me attack and also health boost. And then I have my 3 glaive relics. And then I had an old scaling shield from a long time ago, and so I kind of saved it. I don't have it powered up a lot, but it does give me 13% health, which actually is better than most of the 6-star shields I have. All of this is so that I can get more health. And let's go and try this. This is going to be a very tough opponent. I'm hoping that I can survive this, so let's go and take a look. Let's see how we do here. And I know that because I've taken a look at this this character, he's also running the hammer from the cosmic event, so that if it casts Alacrity, it'll also deal additional damage on turn 2. Now I don't have the luxury of not dealing damage on turn 2, and so I am going to get hit by that. But let's just roll with this. So okay, now what I want to do here is, let's just go ahead and create this. I kind of wanted to save a little bit more fire gems if I could, because in this situation, having more fire gems is going to be beneficial for me. Okay, and you can see I can barely survive there. And now it's all about where my fire gems are going to be placed. And the trick is to match all of them. Okay, so I have to be able to match all of them in order to survive. And also, obviously, I need to increase my attack. And always make sure that you use the 2 ultra rare cards abilities before you use the nuke cards, because it actually benefits from that. All right, so the strategy here then is what I do. I'm obviously going to be matching the 4 and the 3 here. I'm going to be doing a swap. And I'm thinking what's going to be more beneficial. I'm thinking that if I bring this one up here, then I can bring my cards down, but I actually don't. Actually, I don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have to do this real quick. Okay, and hopefully this is going to be enough. If I can see it damage about close to 2. Okay, good. So I dealt enough damage there, and you can see I got hit with additional attack there. So if I had gone any higher, maybe like a opponent with 9k or higher or so with the same relic there, I would be in trouble. All right, and now this is going to be tough because I don't have very good placement here. So I'm hoping for the best. Let's see how this works out. So same idea here. I have to make sure that I match relics, but I have to match in a way that allows me to extend the chain. And so I think the best way to do that is perhaps this. Okay, and then given this, oh, that's probably not going to be enough. So unfortunately, this is where the placement of my relic was unfortunate, so I couldn't continue. In my practice, I was able to go through it, but sometimes you kind of have to take that. And this is where if I had the actual event card in this deck, if I'm using this event deck, I would have a second chance to come back and go through it. But as it stands right now, unfortunately, I failed on the second wave. But that's just how it is. It is a little tougher, and this is sort of, I'm choosing the opponent right at the level of difficulty where, you know, it's a give and take, you know, 50-50 chance of whether I get it through or not. So I think that was actually a good showing of how to use this deck, but it doesn't always work. So what I'll do is I'll drop it down just a notch. I think I'll go down to this one right here and then go through the same concept here. So let's end the video with this fight here. And so while we're waiting, I'll talk about this event deck. I think if you don't have a Domi deck or something similar, it's gonna be a good deck to use. But I would strongly suggest maybe waiting until the relics come out before you decide to invest in everything, because like I said, I don't know what it's gonna be like for this deck without a without any power gem spawning relics. And so I don't want you to end up investing in a whole deck and then have a deck that's going to be hard to use because it doesn't quite generate the same kind of you know, power that you're hoping for. Now I don't think it's going to be the case, but I think it's just safe to wait and see. All right, so let's go through here now. What would be a safe play for me? I think I can do this. Okay. I think this should be enough. Yeah, so I missed that event, unfortunately, so I actually don't have the hammer to help with the Alacrity attack, but now you're seeing in action. All right, and now for wave 2. This is where I think the placement of a flatline warden is actually a pretty good idea, and if you have multiple of them, then you can sort of see like where I had lost on the second boss. If the boss had flatline, then I would not have been able to revive and defeat the boss. And now I feel like this is going to be tough as well, so goodness. All right, so let's do this. Okay, I just have to really match as many as I could, and it's really unfortunate I couldn't match that that times 4 power gem, but luckily my opponent's slightly lower power, so that was enough damage dealt. All right. Man, the placement of the gems are just hard right now. But right now I'm going against a non-water hero, so maybe this should be enough. So luckily for me, when I go up against a non-water boss, Glady is usually able to take it out with her battle skill. And so this should be, I should be able to finish the rest of this match easily now. At this point, let's just go ahead and complete it, and we'll call it the episode. So this is basically how I played this deck to go through the guild versus guild fights. So I don't really use a delight deck anymore, just because it's just way slower than I really would like. And with this deck, I'm able to go through pretty fast. So that should be enough. With that, there it is. 5 out of 5 kills for the guild versus guild wars. And I score 6 for our guild there, and hopefully that's going to be enough for us for tomorrow or for today's fight. So anyways, so that's basically this episode here. It went pretty long, but hopefully this has been useful for you and something that you enjoy seeing. And let me know. Let me know what your feedback is, and I'm also going to take a look and see what the relic is like tomorrow, and then hopefully sometime in the event we'll go through some guild boss fights and see how it works. Anyways. So thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.